Shortly after the founding of Vivec City, Sheogorath tricked the meteor Barad-dûr to change its course through oblivion and head towards the city in response to the blasphemy of the Tribunal, as he believed Vivec built the city in a mockery of the heavens. In response, Vivec merely lifted his hands, immediately causing Barad-dûr to freeze in place above the city. Now Vivec left the meteor to remain frozen above the city so that the people would never stop loving him. The force keeping the meteor at bay would also, stop if he disappeared. So Barad-dûr was later mined out and became the Ministry of Truth, where it would remain for the next few centuries. Following the Oblivion Crisis in 433 of the Third Era, Vivec mysteriously disappeared, and much of the faith and love the people had for him also diminished. Some of the followers of Azure were warned of the impending eruption by the goddess herself, and they fled west to Skyrim. In order to keep the ministry afloat to prevent it from crashing into the city, two Dunmer named Azahar, Sul, and Vuhan made a deal with Clavicus Vile for a device known as the Ingenium, which would keep Barad-dûr suspended in the sky without Vivec. Now in return, the Ingenium required souls to be powered, and this worked pretty well when you could send undesirables such as criminals, prisoners, outlaws, and, slaves in there to power the Ingenium to keep it afloat. However, eventually citizens were needed to be used as a source as well, and the Ingenium was powered for 5 years until the wife of Sul was then needed to be sacrificed. Now Sul attempted to save his wife, but as a result ended up destroying the Ingenium, and without any hope, the Barad-dûr began to fall towards the ground. So in the year 5 of the Fourth Era, Barad-dûr would strike the very heart and center of Vivec City and destroy it completely and cause the Red Mountain to erupt, thus starting the Red Year. Vvardenfell took the tip of the spear when it came to this, and basically took the full force of the eruption. The cities of Balmorra, Ald'ruhn, Nissus, and Sadrith Mora were completely destroyed, and regions like Malag Amur were completely covered in ash and deemed uninhabitable. The devastation wasn't limited to Vvardenfell, as parts of the mainland, like the city of Tyr, suffered from continuous earthquakes and floods caused by the eruption. And it's even admitted that Mournhold would feel some of the effects caused from the eruption. However, they were mainly unharmed at this point. Now, House Redoran was the main power of the province of Morrowind, and at this point they are somewhat independent from the Empire. They don't have much of an imperial force on the province itself. So House Redoran took this opportunity to issue relief efforts onto the ruined island and essentially gain control of the province as well. Vvardenfell was on the road to recovery, where some settlements had began to being rebuilt over the years. However, in its aftermath, they would soon be faced with the Anaxiel, who used this weakness as an opportunity to attack. Following the eruption, though, Morrowind became less habitable, and even the air was difficult to breathe. 200 years after the event, the waters in the Sea of Ghosts around the area are actually too contaminated with ash for fish to even live with them. Mysterious compounds known as Heartstones and violent creatures called the Ash Spawns also arose from the debris spread by the eruptions. Now, the Siltstriders were a species that was native to Morrowind. It was actually nearly wiped out and pushed to extinction. However, a group of them still survive on Solstheim. Now, many Dunmer fled to Solstheim, which had its climate drastically changed in the southern areas, but this was an island that was given to Morrowind by the High King of Skyrim in the year 16 of the Fourth Era. Now, others did decide to settle in Skyrim, mainly in Winterhold, Windhelm, and Riften, but this was only the beginning of Morrowind's troubles, and like I said earlier, the Argonians then took advantage of Morrowind's weakened state and launched an invasion on Morrowind itself, killing hundreds of innocents, maybe even thousands. Now, it was House Redoran, obviously, that put a halt to this, as they were the main power in Morrowind, as stated earlier. However, we're not going to hop into that because we're doing the Red Year. Now, it is said the Great Collapse that occurred in 122 of the Fourth Era was a result of the eruption of the Red Mountain, is a late term or a long-term effect that was caused by it. However, there's not enough evidence supporting this, or there is enough evidence to somewhat hypothesize that this may have happened, and some scholars have theorized it. However, there are numerous theories about why the Great Collapse happened, not just this being one of them. So with that, we are done today. I hope you all enjoyed, and so I'm going to kind of hop into a couple news things at this point. I expected this video to come out relatively sooner, at least today. It's going to be coming out pretty late at night. I had to type a 25-page paper today, and I was on page 13 when I started. I did finish it, but besides that, that is completed, and other than that, I've just been pretty busy overall with the workload going on, and didn't have enough time to do it. I even thought about putting it out on Wednesday at 1 o'clock because, you know, it's typically when I've been posting now at 1 o'clock, and I'm going to try to keep to that as best I can, but obviously the Elder Scrolls videos tend to fluctuate with that because they are the videos I put the most time and most effort into and the most focus on my channel. So the schedule with that will vary, but I'm going to try my best to get it out at 1 o'clock now. But with that, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you around. Peace. If you just happened to stumble upon this video and enjoyed, maybe consider subscribing. If you are a returning subscriber and you enjoyed, please hit that like button. It really helps way more than you actually think it would. And I hope to see you all in the next video. Peace.